It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Fins and the 49ers, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football, and we are underway from Santa Clara. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
On 1st and 10, it's Marino. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Clayton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Marino will throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield and unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now, because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
first and 10 for Montana and company. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Now Montana. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Trucks over him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way!" and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
So now first and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. They go play action with Montana. He finds his man, complete. It's Owens. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, Montana. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well-drilled, well-prepared, and excited to start this game.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line.
A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From down at the 12, it's first and 10.
They'll keep it on the ground. Craig, no dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Shotgun. Here's Montana. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Niners get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So Miami coming out for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
What's the deal, y'all?
Marino's incompletion on first down leads to 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, Marino. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fast footwork by Sanders. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And they will take over 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown, they got the stop, and now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
They will look to throw. Montana. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early. because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Play action. It's Montana. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
On 3rd down, it's Craig, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4 down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Craig, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Montana. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
To throw is Montana. He finds his man, complete. It's Owens. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Now a give, right side. Craig. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's Montana to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. Touchdown! George Kittle, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll throw on first down with Marino. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Marino's incompletion on first down leads to 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle. And he coughed it up. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. So that's about as crazy of a play as you're going to see. He lost the football, got it back, and took it into the end zone.
And it's really tough on the defenders, isn't it? Because when they see a loose football, sometimes you end up kind of shutting it down and you go into fumble recovery mode and you forget about the guy who fumbled it in the first place. That ended up costing him.
Now the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some space here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Operating out of the gun, here's Montana. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Montana. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a first down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. On 1st down, it's Craig. Oh, felt like that move deserved more than he got there. A gain of 2.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's going to have a Niners first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Play fake. Now here's Montana. Over the middle, that's caught by Owens. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll look to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. They run the counter. It's Craig. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That one thrown away from the pocket, and the officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. On 2nd and goal, Montana. Nothing
nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 5-yard touchdown. And the 49ers go up by 2 touchdowns.
So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
First down, Marino. That one complete to Hill. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Play fake. Here's Marino. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man. Complete. It's a big play there for Miami. 61 yards.
In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything that they'd be really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off, not just with points, but with a touchdown.
And you can see in the next-gen stats, that one 62 yards in the air.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Marino. The quick slant caught. Touchdown Dolphins. Tyreek Hill. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Dolphins have cut it back within a score. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on first and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point right down the middle. And they're back with it, a touchdown at 21-14. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Out on the field now, here come the 49ers.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their fourth possession. Touchdowns on their first three possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looking deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Miami set to take over. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Marino.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Marino will throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. 6-yard return after a punt of 48.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. Now the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Let's go now. Let's go, boy. Let's go. Let's play. Let's play now, baby. Let's play. Let's go. I got you, baby. We gotta be big time now. Let's go. Get in there. Let's go. Get something together.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Craig, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
On 3rd down, it's Craig, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Let's go, baby.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Craig, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now a give right side. Craig. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Owens. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. Now Montana connects with Kittle underneath. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Up the middle they go. It's Craig.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Craig. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Craig, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers, but in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. This one caught by Kittle, and he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A give to the fullback on the dive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. They will look to throw. Montana. Escaping the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Montana. Touchdown, 49ers! From 4 yards out, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Point after here coming up. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On 1st and 10, it's Marino. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Marino off of play action. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Marino. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been terrific so far. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he is going to lose yardage here. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Montana. Flush to his right. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? And Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
On first down, Montana. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So that challenge is a successful one. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Montana to throw. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Back to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 41-yard line. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First and 10 for Montana and company. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
A long way to go here down for the 8th play of the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 19. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
What's the deal, y'all? Let's go, man.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Miami. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Craig, and he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a 2nd one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Craig, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the 49ers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. Marino will look to throw on 1st. He's going to wind up and air it out. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now we give up the middle to Williams. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Marino. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd and 9, Marino, and he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Marino on play action. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Marino. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Here's Marino to throw. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So a very important first drive of the 3rd quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
They'll look to throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Operating out of the gun, here's Montana. This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 4th down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Let's go, man.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Marino will throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Marino. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up 4th down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Marino sets up. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. So the completion good for just 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
from the gun. He'll hand this off. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
In fact, actually working. I know he got a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Someone moved, flag is out, that's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, and someone jumped.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 2nd down, and a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there, big fumble. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. They will look to throw. Montana. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Dolphins offense returning to the field. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. Showing off the quick feet that time and getting forward for a pickup of 3 yards.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Marino to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Hands it off. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. To throw is Marino. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Montana. Over the middle, that's caught by Owens. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
On first down, Craig. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On second down now, it's Craig, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Montana. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, 1st down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Craig, and he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
On 2nd and 9, Montana. And Davis has it over the middle. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there at 22. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run on 1st down. Craig. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Here's Montana to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on 1st and goal, so a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
On 2nd down, it's Craig. 66 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So You're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Miami set to take over. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Call it a gain of a yard, and it'll be second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on second down. Marino firing quickly here, and that's complete. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
This offense so far on third down, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And he fires one that's intercepted. Sanders shaking and baking. Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Up the middle they go. It's Craig. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Niners have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
What's the deal, dog?
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And Hill with it over the middle. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Marino here from the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and now that sets up 3rd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Again, it's Marino. They complete it to Hill.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now it's Marino. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now left side on the swing pass, and they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Marino got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they're going to speed things up here. Here's Marino. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Touchdown! A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
They'll try and throw for it. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. There's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles's defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.